Hello, everyone. I'm on here. Maybe some of you have seen, I think I posted 4 or 5 videos before, and I was telling my story, how I strengthened my relationship with God. But there are some details along the way that I need to clarify for some people. It was back in September that I first posted some things about my relationship with my estranged husband and some hinky things that were going on that my intuition and my instincts and messages from God that I needed to move on. So I wanted to clarify some things. So shortly after I posted that video, the normal things that were going on that I didn't quite mention in very great detail, like the stalking, people following me in grocery stores, in cars. I didn't discuss any of that. I didn't discuss that bills were coming, credit cards that I had already closed and paid off were all of a sudden being charged up again. New cards were issued that I never received. I didn't discuss any of that. So I'm going to talk about it. Okay. So I decided to leave my husband because I accused him of cheating, because everything told me he was. And I'm pretty sure he was. By now, I'm sure everybody else knows that, yeah, you were cheating. Um, I allowed him to talk me into going back. I moved from the state of Missouri to the state of Tennessee to get away from him. Something told me, no, just moving into a house down the street wasn't good enough. I needed to remove myself completely from that state and move to another state, which I did. I had some friends that I'd had for a long time since I was a child that lived in that area, and I moved. And I thought, oh, this is great. It'll be over. I can start all over again. Everything be great. Well, of course, because my heart, I'm a kind person, open heart. Um, he calls and he's like begging, let's talk or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I knew he was monitoring my phone. He already knew my location because he put trackers in my car. But so there was no point in saying, hey, you don't know where I am, blah, 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 you already know. So I allowed him to come up and talk me into going back. So I did. I went back for like a week. And during that week, I worked from home at the time. During that week, the internet all of a sudden didn't want to work at his house anymore. Or it was our house, but I will call it his house anymore. So I couldn't work. Had to go to the library, use the free internet in order to do my job. Um, then he'd go to work and I changed the locks in the house. I changed all of them, you know. And when he came back from work, I gave him the keys and I put them on his key ring and I said, here you go. And I put them a certain way so I would know if the keys were different. Because even though I went back, I didn't have my gut and God was telling me this ain't right. You're not supposed to be here. I led you to leave for a reason. Well, circumstances happened where I figured out that there was something really wrong with this house, with what was going on in there. And after a morning of waking up and someone banging on the door really loud as soon as he'd already left for work. So it's just me and my young daughter banging on the door. And I was like, okay, that's not just me. My daughter's freaking out. She'd already told me that she was hurting and I'd seen something suspicious in her room. Come to find out that when I had checked his keys the night before, they were repositioned, which leads me to believe he gave someone a copy of our key to our house after I changed the locks. Um, so I took my daughter to school, went to work, went work at the library with my free internet, and people started circling around. I was like, you get those little enclosed cubicle rooms. Well, there's glass windows. And I just kept seeing a stream of people coming by, seeing me, getting on their phone, texting, or coming by, seeing me, getting on their phone, taking a picture, or something like that. So I'm on with coworkers and telling them about what I'm seeing. I'm like, there's something crazy going on. The good thing about the doors to these rooms is, you have to be the librarian to unlock. So when I'm in there, someone can't come behind me and unlock. So of course I'm nervous. I'm like, what is going on? So, I told my coworkers and my boss, I'm like, dude, I gotta go. So I literally went and picked my daughter up from school. I called the principal and I said, I can't wait for regular drop off. Pickup time. We're going to go. We got to go now. And I made some phone calls to some other friends, and they didn't want me driving throughout the night. They were like, stay over here. And I did. I took my child, stayed somewhere else, and hightailed it back over here to Tennessee. I'm not worried about you knowing that I live in Tennessee. It doesn't fucking matter. Oh, excuse my language. It doesn't freaking matter. I just knew that I needed to go. As I was leaving, I was getting weird phone calls. Trucks trying to block me in and divert me to turnoffs. But that's needless to say, I made it back. And the hits just kept on rolling. The stalking increased. Things were being moved in my apartment. I'm pretty sure he got a copy of a key to my apartment when he came to visit. But that's fine. And, I was like, I prayed to God, and he said, just keep going. And I did, kept going. Shortly after I made those original videos, the things that I usually did, which was read on my Kindle or listen to my audiobooks, all of a sudden I couldn't access them. It was like I made someone angry for even posting those videos about what I felt about our relationship and what had occurred. And so it led me to the world of TikTok, because that's the only thing that was actually working. And as I was going through, trying to get in, something to pass my time when I wasn't working or taking care of my kid and my grown adult child, I kept coming across seers, that were talking about my story. And it was weird. Like, people just kept talking about things that had already occurred in my life. And it was a good thing, and God kept assuring me, it's okay. You're on the right path. You're doing okay. Because I was praying. I was like, why are all these people talking about what's going on with me? Everything that I was feeling inside, they were providing confirmation to what was really going on in my life. And it just kept going. Things kept going stronger and stronger. The stalking kept increasing. People walking up across my house. Things being like tampered with in like food and money, and just straight up stalker harassment. So needless to say, I understood that he decided that he wanted to be with someone else, and my decision to not put up with it was not the right way to go and not what he wanted. So if he couldn't have me, no one else could have me. So I will go ahead and continue with part 2.